Hey friends, Melanie Allen here. It's an odd time when we have to be separated for our own good health, and it feels uncomfortable for many of us. I miss working with many of you on community projects, art projects, and I reached out to my friend Elizabeth Feder-Hosey the other day so we could chat a little bit about art and how it's especially inspiring us right now.
Hi, Melanie. I'm so happy to be talking about art and creativity with you today. It's unfortunate we can't meet in person. That transfer of energy is so important to our well being. However, we must make that small sacrifice to keep our families and communities safe. People are being forced to become creative, though, so that's a bright side. I must admit that the daydreamer in me isn't minding all this free time, as I get to work on public art and community projects that began before all this happened.
That's good to hear, Elizabeth. I've also been working on projects, though I'm finding it hard sometimes to deal with the anxiety and look for inspiration at the same time. Getting outside and looking at nature has been a huge help.
I've also spent a lot of time on my bike, which allowed me to finally test out my public art ride idea. There are more than a dozen pieces of public art throughout Ocean Springs, and even more if you include what private businesses have done with creative signage. Look at Wildfire and the new rooftop taco place. I was able to capture this image of the William Ludwig bronze heads at the depot. This one image was pierced by a glint of sunlight that turned out looking like lightning striking the head just before it cracks open and begins to shed its outer self. For me, this image and sculpture captures how I feel about our current situation. My hope is that we can emerge as a people more closely connected politically and globally. The air quality is improving in China and the waters are running clear in Venice. The disease itself is a result of humans and wild animals competing for space. This global shutdown is showing us the impacts of industry and development on our environment and our people, something I hope we can build on going forward. For the public art ride, I hope you all will try it out and look for other public art or otherwise inspiring places that we can add to the experience.
I agree about the William Ludwig bronze sculptures installed at the depot. When our public art project of Ocean Springs was able to purchase those from his estate and install them in 2017, it was a great addition to public art in Ocean Springs.
For me personally, getting to work on these projects gives me a sense of purpose, especially since my law practice is halted. Purpose gives me a sense of stability and normalcy, and stepping away from the news is as equally important. I've spent a lot of time outdoors teaching my children about nature and how to appreciate it, as well as work on my nature photography. We at the Mary C. and other arts and culture organizations feel like it's important to keep moving forward with our mission as a way of serving our community when they need us the most. We will continue to pay our staff and provide virtual and other resources as long as possible. We started a YouTube channel. Just last night, we hosted a virtual house party. And if you're a supporter of the arts, please be sure to renew your annual memberships if financially possible.
I think we can agree that regardless of what form it takes, art is therapy for us right now, whether we're outside gardening, whether we're using the beauty of what we see in our gardens as inspiration for art, whether we're taking photography, if it's dance, if it's cooking, if it's reading, if it's writing. Whatever form art takes in your life, it's a good time to use it for some therapy right now.
Still wondering why art matters, or you need help explaining to someone else why art matters? Just tell them, arts and culture create jobs. They provide joy to the community. Exercising creative wonderment leads to innovation. Art is escapism and connection. Art is communication. And with the right perspective, you'll see that art is everywhere. Thank y'all for listening today. I hope you enjoy the public art ride and think about how these pieces inspire you and what they mean to you. Have a great one.
Because we know art matters in Ocean Springs, there is a printed guide of the public art around Ocean Springs. But since it's hard to pick those up these days, we're going to print most of that information along with this post. You all take care, be safe, use art for your inspiration, and we'll see you again.